Change control. You're going to find when you work with projects that there is a lot of focus to ensure something called scope creep does not happen. When you talk about the scope of a project, you are talking about what you've agreed to deliver. It's very easy to go beyond those boundaries quite quickly. And so what you'll find when people are writing out their scope is that not only do they tell you what they're going to deliver, they will also tell you what they are not going to deliver. Now, how does change control, how does that apply in this situation? So projects must start off with a defined and agreed scope of work. The scope of work can change, and in a lot of cases, they do change, and really they should be welcomed. The change should be welcomed. But in order for you to avoid scope creep, you need to keep an eye on your scope. And so when that change is identified, we have to put into place a process called change control. Changes to a project scope must be assessed, discussed, and agreed before incorporated as part of the project. So the first thing that happens is there's a request for change. A request for change can come from anywhere, to be honest. You could be there minding your own business on your way back from lunch and meet the CEO in the corridor, and he says, very fantastic, I love the work you guys are doing in Project X. By the way, I'd like to add these 2 free features to it. You're not about to tell the CEO that, no, sorry, that's not happening. What you say to him is that, okay, I'll have a look at that and I'll get back to you. Okay, so the request for change can come at any place, at any angle, and there's not a problem with that. So you first of all accept that there's a request for the change. The next thing you do is you do an analysis of how much impact is this change going to bring. Like I said, you're not about to tell the CEO that, no, that's not going to happen. You want to go and give it some thought. So you bring it into that space with your colleagues, and you have a conversation, and you measure the impact that this change will bring. So the CEO said he wants 2 things added to this project. You've done the analysis. You find that not only is it going to cost X amount, it's also going to take this long, and it also requires these resources. That is the impact that has to happen for this change to be incorporated. Now, once that is identified, then the next thing is that you would go to your steering committee. There could be a change control committee. It could be that the governance for that particular project is quite small, so you still take it to your project board. Basically, you're going to take it to a set of people who are going to either approve this change, or they're going to deny it. And the fantastic thing about that is that if they deny it, they can be the one to tell the CEO that, sorry, that's not about to happen. Okay, so that whole approval and denial, that's what stops your scope from getting out of hand. That systematic approach of recognizing the change, analyzing the change in terms of impact, and then taking it to a group of people who have the authority to approve it or even deny it. Let's assume that the impact is accepted, the change is accepted. You then begin to implement it. So you now look at, okay, these 2 features, where do they fit in? Okay, you've got your resources, so you've got to get your resources in place. It requires getting 2 other members of the team. You've got to adjust your plan to make sure that the timeline is now right. You've also got to think about, okay, where are the various lines of my plan in terms of money need to be adjusted. That is you incorporating the change. You update your business case document, you update all the necessary documents within your project space. You're implementing that change, and then you go ahead and you plan to deliver this change. Like I was just saying, that then once you've kind of like taken all of these things into consideration, you update your plan, your project budget, your business case, your project initiation documentation, your high-level design, low-level design, all the things that need to be updated to be able to incorporate this change. And so that is the essence of change control. Before, it used to be frowned upon that, oh, we've already agreed the statement of work, so we're not going to be accepting that change. No, that doesn't make for good business sense. Sometimes, and all the time things change, and so the more responsive you are, the more agile you are, the more good at what you're doing, essentially, because you're an agent of change. All project and program and portfolio managers and professionals, all of us, we're all agents of change. So if change is coming along and we say, no, sorry, we're not doing that, then we're not very good agents of change. Okay, so that's change control in a nutshell.